Welcome to the Bitcoin Latam Report, where I interview entrepreneurs, Bitcoiners from all over Latin America in English, so everybody in the world can know what is happening here. So today I have the honor of interviewing Bruno Vaccotti. He's a Bitcoiner, a local legend in Paraguay. He's the director of the Fintech Chamber, the director of Bitcoin Mining Chamber. He runs meetups. He does a lot of stuff in Paraguay. And recently there has been some bad news potentially for the whole industry there. So it's a pleasure to have you, Bruno, so we can discuss the whole situation and what's coming next. So thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks to you, Masrek. It's a pleasure for me because I know Aureo. I think the great place to get the Bitcoin adoption is Latin America. I appreciate what are you doing and spreading the voice out loud in English for all the world about the entrepreneurs in Latin America because I get involved in Bitcoin business in mining industry for 4 years, maybe 5. And what I see in South America, it's the most promising place in the world for Bitcoin mining and also for Bitcoin adoption. It's a pleasure to be here.
Perfect. So it's a little bit cliche way to start a Bitcoin podcast, but for the people that don't know you, maybe you can just give a little background, like how you started being a Bitcoiner, what's your involvement in Paraguay as a Bitcoin leader, and just a little bit the background story of also why mining specifically in Paraguay is a really important industry that has the potential to grow way more.
And actually, this part of the story, it's kind of fun because I'm not that smart. I found Bitcoin. Bitcoin found me on 2017. I remember I bought my first Satoshis in Guaraníes with a credit card in a exchange, centralized exchange. I bought maybe $6 at that time and just keep sleeping. Maybe 1 year later or 1.5 year later, one friend of mine needs to pay me something. And he said, hey, I can send you dollars or Bitcoin because he was on the States at that time. And do you want Bitcoin or do you want dollars? And I want to sound techie. And I said, hey, yes, Bitcoin is fine. At that time, I discovered that was a very interesting money because when you spend $10, $20 in Satoshis, it's very easy to don't take care about them if you didn't know about Bitcoin. Nobody wants to lose money, but it's easier to lose $20 or than more money. And I received this transaction. I said, hey, man, I need to understand this thing. And I start my journey learning Bitcoin in different ways. And I get on the past, I get involved in financial education. And when I start understanding Bitcoin, it blew my mind. I changed all in my life. I changed what I am doing for a living. I sell to companies I am developing because I said, hey, I need to get in the past to focus all my time or almost all my time in Bitcoin because I think it's the best opportunity for humanity to change the rules of the game. I think that day I became a Bitcoiner. I'm still on a learning path, because nobody knows everything about Bitcoin. And that's very exciting. I started teaching Bitcoin for developing meetups here in Paraguay. Also, we have the franchise. I don't know if franchise is the word, but of Mi Primer Bitcoin from El Salvador. Right now, we are developing a Bitcoin diploma in a university here. I trying to start opening the doors at the beginning because nobody thinks anything or have an idea in the government, in the universities. The people have no idea about Bitcoin in Paraguay. There's not a lot of mainstream about that at that time. I wrote 3 books for free. It's distributed for free. I spent maybe a bunch of Satoshis printing 3,000 books. And also there's on the web for free, for download for free. And also start 2 years ago a TV show about Bitcoin. And it's interesting because it's not a podcast, not a YouTube channel. It's a TV show actually on TV in Paraguay. And I think it's a very good way of evangelization because today with this amazing race about the content, nobody enters to YouTube or looking, hey, just show me something. People are looking micro content, and the micro content is very specified for somebody in South America. I think in all around the world who doesn't care about Bitcoin, it's very difficult to just jump into the Bitcoin world. And the TV allows you to do that because a lot of people in the streets two years later saying, hey, you are the Bitcoin guy, because they are looking the TV and some guy appears talking about Bitcoin. I think it's a very good way to orange pill the people. The product, the TV show, it's called Voltaje. I can share you our links later. But yes, I think that's the way. And also in the meantime, as I said at the beginning, I try to move all my life to the Bitcoin path. I met some guys 5 years ago they were from Germany. They taught me about to use the energy in Paraguay to transform that energy into human potential. We start with them Penguin Academy. It's academy for coding and for AI, for all the boot camps for people with low income here in Paraguay. We train almost 3,000 kids and adults, obviously, in the last 4 years. And with that academy, we have the need to create a business that finance the academy. And at that time, one of these guys said, hey, we can use the energy to mine Bitcoin. And with Bitcoin, we can just pay the bills from the academy. We started a very, very amazing path. Now I'm still an investor. I was of the first day believer of Penguin. I love Penguin. It's a great school of thought. But now I'm developing financial products or trying to developing financial products here in Paraguay about Bitcoin, because I think the next step of adoption here is to have more products on the day by day for Paraguayans, not only for expats or for people who are already Bitcoiners. I need to Bitcoin be easy for the people doesn't understand Bitcoin, because if you start sometimes the Bitcoiners, we have this problem. Hey man, it's very easy. You have 24 words, passphrase. There's a hard wallet and Satoshi. It's great. Blah blah blah. And people doesn't get it at the first time, And I think we need to close put Bitcoin closer to the people, and that's my main KPI today. Through the TV show, last year I organized the first Bitcoin only conference in Paraguay. It's called Acelerando Bitcoin. The result was amazing because we gathered 600 people, 120 people from outside Paraguay, and nobody expects anything about Paraguay because Paraguay has no. We are landlocked. We has no gold, no gas, no anything, no diamonds. I don't know. It's not an attractive country on the first side, but when we start this Bitcoin mining here, other companies saw us, and now we have 1 gigawatt in all Paraguay for Bitcoin mining. We are the fourth place in the world with more hash rate, and that puts Paraguay in a very interesting spot for Bitcoiners, for the industry, and for obviously for the protocol.
Yeah, I think from all the guests that I invited, you'll probably have the description in YouTube, the largest one with a bunch of links, because you're doing so many stuff. It's crazy that you started first the educational initiative, but then you needed to finance it, so that's why you got interested in mining. And you mentioned that the investor, well, the people that came to help you starting all the mining operation, they were from Germany. And as you said, also probably most of the people don't even know where to put Paraguay on the map, right? It's not a country you hear a lot about. So what did they see in Paraguay that made them, bullish on why they should start such a big mining operation there? Is there like specific resources or a specific um, like legal setup that made it easy in the beginning? Like, why was it so attractive in the beginning?
We have very good stick. So I don't know why, but Bitcoiners love stick. And the best meat in the world is in Paraguay. You are very well invited to my barbecue. I love to cook. I'm a cooker. My first passion is to cook. My second passion is Bitcoin. I have a lot of Bitcoin asados here in Paraguay with some friends from all around the world. The thing that makes Paraguay interesting in a way, it's the available energy, because we have a clean energy matrix. The 100% of the energy in the country, it's green from renewables, hydro. And also, there's a interesting political situation, because the Itaipú Dam is one of the world's most powerful dams. It's with Brazil. We are both it's half Brazilian, half Paraguayan, and Paraguay doesn't have the capability to use all that energy for 60 years. And now with Bitcoin mining, Paraguay can use their energy actually to develop the country, because the problem on the past was we need to sell to Brazil at pennies, because we undersell the energy just as a gift to Brazil. And now with these kind of industries, Paraguay can use their energy to develop the country, to develop education, to develop infrastructure, a lot of things, and to put Paraguay in the map, because now Paraguay is a player. In Bitcoin matters, Paraguay it's top 10, because we are 4 in hash rate. We need to develop another things. That's the reason I'm moving to other things right now, as Satoshi said, but I'm moving to other things, to financial products for people, and now more about Bitcoin, working in public policies and a lot of stuff. And that situation of available energy, it's not the cheapest energy in the world. That's a lie, because you have Ethiopia and other places, but it's available energy. If you have a bunch of money, if you want to put 1 gigawatt of Bitcoin mining tomorrow in Paraguay, you can do it. And there's no another place in the world you can do that, because we still having available energy from Itaipú Dam. And that's one of my regular conversation with the government. Hey, please, let's stop selling Brazil. We can use the energy here and develop the country, create tech jobs, create more infrastructure, be ready for this AI bubble. And yes, make Paraguay a great country for development.
Yeah, I think also another point that I would like to ask you is really, in the last 5-10 years, the subject of finding, great countries for tax reasons. Obviously, Bitcoiners are the kind of people that are looking forward to optimize their lifestyle. So Paraguay has been also really popular for expats and people from, Europe, Canada. I even have a really good friend. You probably know him. I don't want to name him. He's from New Zealand, and he spends like half of his time in Mexico, and the other time, half of his time in Paraguay. So, have you seen also this influx of Bitcoiners, but also immigrants from these kind of countries? Do you see it as a positive thing, or do you think they exploit the system? What's your opinion on this?
I think there's no borders anymore. We are citizens of the world. I'm here because I have my roots here. When I was younger, I live in other countries, but I think Paraguay, I choose Paraguay twice, because I was in other countries earning a bunch of money with our investment, blah, blah, blah. I choose Paraguay twice, and I family here, because I think Paraguay is a land of opportunities, because there's a lot. I love to work. I think that's a problem, because some people love to just chilling. I love to work, and if you want to work and to develop something greater than you, Paraguay is the best spot in the world because, as I said, we are landlocked, no gold, no petrol, no gas. You are by your own, but nobody bothers you. It's a very free country, very uh, private friendly country in several ways, not in all the ways because now we have new shitty regulations, but we are working so hard to solve this. But I think Paraguay is a huge spot if you want to take care of your sats because it's very. I don't will I don't like to say cheap. It's not cheap, but it's you get what you pay. You can live very well here in Paraguay, eat in good restaurants, live in a nice neighborhood, all the things you need to be happy for a very convincing price. And I think people here actually I'm Uruguayan. All my family is from Uruguay. I'm living in Uruguay part of my life, and I think Paraguay is a very friendly country for migrants. It's a very, as I said, a very free, safe, and I think there's opportunity to everybody. If you want to work and if you want to develop in the right path, there's a country who wants to adopt you as your new country. But my main chakra here, it's there's no borders anymore. I don't care where are you born. If you want to do something good, you are welcome. I don't care about your business. I don't care about your past. I don't care about your future. I care you uh, about your dreams. And if your dreams makes my country better for all the people, you're welcome.
I think that's the great attitude in general, right? I also believe, the people, as you said, if you have the right intention and you will contribute positively to the country, that, every country should take advantage of people wanting to move in, to a certain degree. Before we start with like the controversy and all the shitty regulation, as you said, just want to ask a little bit more details about you're saying you want to build financial products in Paraguay, because I can imagine that the expats living there, they probably have a Wise account or Revolut, and they're using that to pay. But you're saying there's like missing tools for. Can you expand a little bit on this? Like, what's missing? Is it like good on and off ramps? Is it banking infrastructure? What is missing in general?
The thing is, uh, as I said, I'm not lying. I'm not that smart. Maybe there's a lot of product that Bitcoiners like you and me will use in the future that today doesn't exist. I'm not in that way. I'm in the way of the lesson one. The first product I am fighting with a bank here. It's to establish a Bitcoin trust. Why? Because it's a product that you didn't want to be part of Bitcoin trust. Of course, as a Bitcoiner, I don't want it, but it's very good. I talk with several people here. And people here, the conventional investor needs that security that banks brings to them, and a trust is the most simple product. I can work with a bank to the people has the Bitcoin experience with a baked organization. I need a bank to open a trust, and people can buy Bitcoin to the trust and be owners of that part of the trust. Simple as fuck. Sorry about my French, but I need that kind of products for people who are in the 1% of the 1% in Paraguay, who has they are very influential in public policies, who are very influential. Some of them are politicians. I need to Paraguay to keep being great for Bitcoin, and that's my hurry to develop these products. And a disclaimer: there's no money in these products. There's no profitable to have a Bitcoin trust. It's only because we need it. we needed as a Paraguayans to develop products for Paraguayans, products like get Bitcoin closer to the people. As I said, there's no reason to all the people to be a cyberpunk or be a tech guy or be a is math expert that understand Bitcoin in a role. I'm looking for this kind of very simple products to people understand Bitcoin. And also, on the other hand, I think it's one of the it's the only country in South America, I think, you can just swap in Bitcoin with your cell phone in a platform, Bitcoin to Guaraníes, to our local money. That kind of off ramping, there's no off ramping in Paraguay. You should to go to a exchange, a regulated, or make peer to peer. But peer to peer for people who are not in Bitcoin is the most uh, uh, weird thing in the world. Hey, there's this guy. I can say his name because he loves privacy. Blah blah blah. Sounds like a scam, man. For us, it's very common. But it's the same way when you go to the Bitcoin meetups and see these guys with masks say, hey, maybe he's a robber, and that's the reason he used a mask. Oh, but when you understand the privacy, Julian Assange, a lot of things, and you say, hey, that guy is a smart guy, not a crazy, not a robber, is a smart guy. And that's the reason. Start with very, very simple products for people understand Bitcoin.
Nice. But when you say there is no easy off ramps, or there is, I don't understand that.
There's no bank app or a exchange in Paraguay. You can swap Bitcoin to Guaraníes, to the local money. Because our thing here in Paraguay, our money, it's very strong. The Guarani is a strong coin, a shit coin, from a bank. For that reason, and maybe for other reasons, maybe less than the 10% of the Paraguayans has a dollar account. That's huge, man. Because in all the country, people has dollar account and their local money account. But the less than 10% of Paraguayan has a dollar account. That's the reason we need Bitcoin to Guaraníes, not Bitcoin to USDT or blah, blah, blah. That's product. It's amazing, but I need something easier.
But okay, so let's suppose somebody would like to, take the opportunity of creating a solution like this. Maybe let's suppose Aurel will be that solution. What does it take? Like, if a company wants to open officially in, what are the compliance requirements? Well, not only us, but maybe somebody is already there and he sees the opportunity. So why nobody has done it yet?
Man, that's the funny part of Latin America. There's no law saying you can't do that. There's no regulation saying you can't do that. There's anything that doesn't allow you to do that tomorrow. But that didn't happen. I went to a bunch of meetings because for my perspective, I don't want to create a new company and be your rival tomorrow. No, if you want, I can try, as I try with other companies from some friends, to bring your company here. But the problem is you go to the third or fourth meeting with the government, with the regulators, and they just stay silent. There's no answer. They're still waiting, and you never get an answer. It's insane. When a funny story, when I work in education programs, not in Bitcoin, in financial education programs in the public system in Paraguay with a nonprofit, I need to try in one situation. I need to present 17 times the same note asking for something. 17 times. It's like running a marathon. You need to have just resilience and keep going because it's a long sprint. Short answer. Anything. Anything it's forbidden to start Aureo tomorrow in Paraguay, but it's very difficult to have the final stamp to say yes, you can open. And it's
Mhm.
very frustrating, but I'm working so hard, dedicating a lot of hours of my week to trying to do that.
Yeah, and I think also the banking system in general, it's not that great because here in Mexico, it's a similar situation in terms of time of approval and everything. I guess it's a little bit better than Paraguay, but you still the biggest hurdle and the biggest problems is always with the government, the time it takes for a license to be accepted. That's I think just to register our company, I had to come back 3-4 times to the authority to so they approve it and they sign it. It's really annoying. It slows down innovation. It destroys company because you can spend a bunch of money just trying to start. So that's really bad. But at least here in Mexico, um, there is a little bit of infrastructure, Bitcoin, crypto infrastructure, people can use to start building products. And also the banking system, there's a system called SPAY, which lets transfer from one Mexican bank account to another instantly and without any fee. And this is like an interbanking system. And you get like a seal of approval or seal of transaction directly from the central banks of Mexico. So is that something that also exists in Paraguay? Like in Brazil, there is PIX, but is there like a system similar that would make it easy to kind of make a bridge between Bitcoin and the fiat system, or that's also a problem?
I'm toxic Bitcoiner. I'm a maximalist. I'm not a shitcoiner, but I understand sometimes we need bridges to the people. For me, USDT is a great asset. People say, no, that shitcoin. Okay, but USDT allows millions of people to get into Bitcoin. As I said, it's a bridge, and all the bridge are my friends in a way. That's the reason that Pix for me it's amazing. Almost hacked to the system because for Pix is part of the government too. It's private investment, but also the government. Now in Argentina, there's ARS. It's the Argentinian Pix. Um, for sure, I want Paraguayan Pix too. There's we can use the funny situation is we can use Pix in Paraguay also, but the Brazilian one. We need a Paraguayan one.
The goal was not to open a new business, but maybe after the podcast we can talk more. So let's get to the principal subject. There's some new rules, and to be honest, I haven't looked in details, but I've seen a lot of noise about the Bitcoin dream in Paraguay is compromised. A lot of stuff happening, and I know how frustrating it can be because I don't know if you know about what happened in Quebec, in Canada, like a few years ago. We started the same founders of Aureo a few years ago. We opened a mining farm when in 2017, pretty small. We had maybe 100 machine S9s at that time. So and we got cut short in our expansion in our company completely because the Quebec government started a moratorium and they said, okay, we're going to put a stop to the whole industry. The miners are going to steal all of our electricity, something that doesn't make any sense. The people are going to freeze in the winter because the miners are going to use all the electricity. So for 2 years, there was like a moratorium, even 2 years and a half. So basically, because of that, all the miners, I'm pretty sure there's still miners in Quebec, like you probably know more, but it definitely not the El Dorado of what it could have been. And I think because of what happened at that time, and they came up with stupid rules only to allow 350 megawatts, which is, a little bit, but not that much if you look at the mining industry as a whole. Something similar happening in Paraguay. Like, can you, just talk? And, if you can be mad about the government, no problem.
Yeah, no, the situation in Canada was very shitty. Yeah, it's a mess because that part of Calgary, Canada has a bunch of gas and nobody is using it because it's very cold it's amazing because Bitcoin mining needs two things: refrigeration and energy. And I think one of the best places, one of the best spots in the world to use resources to transform that in electric money, it's Canada. There's a very huge company here, a Canadian company, Hype Technologies. They are mining 380 megawatts, and one of the reasons it's Canada. It's messy, right? Yes, about the regulation, as I said earlier, Paraguay is a very free country, very secure. I think that's not because the government takes decisions on that, because I think it's a great country by omission. Things just happen. There's a lot of lagoons or non-exist regulations that allows us to be in a free country. When the politicians smells they can sound smart and charge money for the people illegally in this case it's totally illegally, they just put on a letter, and some pleb, and now we have this shitty regulation. The past 2 weeks was the most stressful weeks in several years. And imagine, as a miner, the government raised the price 3 times in 4 years. In 3 years, the business goes very bad, and I didn't get that stress like this time, because people from Australia, I am 10 missed call from people all around the world calling me, people that I didn't know, and say, "Hey, what happened with Paraguay?" Blah blah blah, because there's a lot of expats, maybe 150 per year, and we know a great part of that expat are people from the Bitcoin ecosystem, and these kind of things are very bad signals about the freedom in Paraguay, because this is a panoptic regulation, very stupid, illegally. As I said, I explained to the government. Actually, today I have a 2 hours meeting with the government. Last week I was with 6 hours with 12 managers from the tax office. I spent a lot of time trying to people from the government understand they are killing the window of opportunity that Bitcoin brings to Paraguay, because there's no at the first time why I said it's illegal, because part of this resolution, it's called Resolution 47. The people are listening us, they can just search Resolution 47 Paraguay, and it's it's amazing because they want to regulate the tax, the decentralized exchange. And I explained to the guys it's very difficult to call a guy called Satoshi and say, "Hey, Satoshi, Paraguay needs you to change the protocol." It's ridiculous. They didn't get it. Because in our hand, in El Salvador, for example, I've been in El Salvador several times. I have very good friends over there. It's a nice country to visit. Um, in El Salvador, there's already taxes for the business, business who works with Bitcoin. I'm good with that. If you have a auto is in Paraguay, we can Aureo, sorry, we can off ramp or some of it. Yes, we need to pay taxes. It's part of the game. But you, as a Bitcoiner, there's no reason to expose you, because privacy is one of the first things that I most uh, are committed with Bitcoin. Some cyberpunk friend, I didn't know his real name, and we were friends for 5 years. Uh, Asked me maybe 2 weeks ago, "Hey, if you know all you know until now about Bitcoin from the first day, you get exposed with this TV talking with the government, blah blah blah." And I said, yes, because somebody needs to do that. Yes, maybe it's a obsec, complicated obsec, but I don't want all the people with Bitcoin, or actually me with my satoshis, to get exposed to criminals, as the same case from France. In developed countries, it's very easy to get information. There's no privacy. When you get there's privacy if you know how to move in the wave, but if you get your information to a third party, you are exposed, you know. And I need to spend a lot of hours talking with the people, saying, "Hey, it's not about evasion. It's not about, hey, we want to live in zero taxes. No, we want to be feel and be safe with our families." And it's very difficult because there are some very nerd and humble guys who 70 years ago was mining with a GPU, and now maybe they have $100 million or more. They want to live like stay, how do you say, stay fun looking poor. They want to be under the radar, and it's very stupid to a guy who take cares of their privacy for 17 years now. Hey, no, you need to bring me your wallet and your pin. It's ridiculous. It's very tough for me
Do
because
they actually ask that? They ask you
no,
the
no,
pin for
sorry,
your wallet?
I'm exaggerating, but they're asking is you need to self-report every transaction, your name, your wallet, the hash, and also the name of the person who receives the funds. Everything is shitty. I explained because maybe you owe me $10, and you say, "Hey, Bruno, just send me your wallet." And if you I received $10, but nobody knows. I didn't know if your wallet, maybe it's your girlfriend wallet, your sister wallet, your brother wallet, and you say, "Hey, please send $10 to this guy." That's part of the privacy. Maybe it's not your wallet, and you cancel your debt with me, but not with your wallet, and it's impossible to know that because there's no audit saying, "Oh yes, this is your wallet." Okay, the government asked for that, for example. That's not only illegally, it's stupid. And I think in one way, in the Paraguayan way, I have here my a treasure wallet. If the government audits me, I can say, "Hey, this is my wallet. Yes, I can open it. Yes, I have only $10 in satoshis." How they get I'm saying the truth, and this is very particular in the Latin American mindset because we are very resilient people because Latin America on the past and some countries still are very it's very tough. If you went to Tepito, Tepito is
No, now a part of the Quito is getting gentrified slowly. You can go drink beers there on Sundays, no problem.
I love the phrase. I've been in Tepito 3 times. There's a phrase in Spanish say, "Tepito existe porque resiste," and
What?
maybe it's we need to take care of the people of Tepito and improve their conditions of life instead of having fear about them. Because there's beautiful people. Oh, obviously, because you have white collar criminals and you have those criminals who get in motos and steal your cell phone. Who is more harmful for the society? The white collars, and Bitcoiners are not white collar. We are people who just love privacy and wants to keep staking sats and figure out how we can rebuild the world separating money from state. That's the main situation here because the state is broken, and because the state are broken, the money is broken too. And I think it's not something that Satoshi creates. It's the Austrian economic school. The most smarter school where the capitalist uses. You can use the capitalist as a engine of develop the country and the entrepreneurial spirit. And now, yesterday I have lunch with some friends from Europe. I said, "Hey, there's in my family there's no entrepreneurs because it's very difficult in Germany to start a business and blah blah blah." And I said, "Hey, there's no people in my family, there's no an entrepreneur, and it's not because, hey, we raise we have a company or something like that. No, because for resist and for keep existing, we develop this entrepreneurial spirit. It's from the need. It's not from the abundancy. It's from the needs. We start being entrepreneurs since we were young.
Yeah, no, it's I admire your battle. Like it's the same here in Mexico. Like 50% are outside of the formal tax system and everything. Because imagine if you need to pay $3,000 to open a company, to have a tackle stand or whatever. It just doesn't make sense, right? The governments, they pretend they want to help by saying, oh, we need to put these new rules to protect you. But in the end, the rule will be respected by the good people that are not criminals. But the criminals will not respect the rules anyway. You just made life harder and more difficult to the regular people, which is 99% of the people in every country. But for the criminals, they don't care. They will just not respect it.
Criminals has other stuff and other ways to do the things. But what governments are doing I call it fish in barrel. It's very easy. If you have 10 fishes in a barrel, I say, hey, now I fish. It's taking more money that the people already paying you. It's very stupid. Darwin, it's just jumping in their thumb.
But I'm curious, maybe they put this law. Sometimes they don't know exactly what they're doing. So, it's all bureaucrats, and somebody says like, hey, you have to do this law about Bitcoin. So they don't maybe don't even care about it really. So what's the approach with the discussions you had so far? Is it like more hostile, or is just like we don't understand nothing? We tried something, but we don't understand. Like, what impression of the conversations you had so far?
I think Paraguay is not the approach in this case is not hostile. It's about I don't know, a self-created metaphor from the government saying, hey, people from mining business, they are all billionaires because it's very profitable. Now, Bitcoin mining, it's dying as a business, not because at the last Satoshi we have 114 years to get mined, but Bitcoin mining as a private business, it's dying because it's not profitable anymore because of the rising of prices of the taxes they are charging to the miners. Last year when they raised the price again, I talked with the government. Hey, this is shitty, man, because people start just left in Paraguay because it's not profitable anymore, and they say, no, I didn't get it because you are powerful people. That's not right. And this year, what happened with that? 42% of the contracts get canceled. 42% in 6 months. And I said to the government, hey, man, it's too late. But now we have opportunity to change this shitty regulation. We can regulate something. We can regulate the business who work with Bitcoin. We can regulate maybe if you want to put $10 million in real estate in Paraguay from nothing, what they say when we talk about Bitcoin, we can do our due diligence with AML or something like that for huge investments. But no to the Bitcoiner who wants to drink a beer in a bar and pay with Satoshis. That's very ridiculous. And it's a test for all the people in Paraguay because when a migrant came to Paraguay, it's not a low income migration. It's a well-being migration. It's different because when you arrive here, you want to rent an apartment, you want services. There's a lot of people, the maid, you want to eat in good places. You are paying for services. It's not you are living in a mountain in Paraguay. There's no mountains in Paraguay, but you're living like by your own, doing your own energy, doing your own things in a mountain. No, you are consuming, you are spending money, and you are injecting this money into the system. For me, it's great. I love expats. We organize events for expats every month. because I'm very proud. I prefer to work with grassroots, with people in Paraguay who needs opportunities, and I think Bitcoin it's the opportunity for these people. But we also love to do things with all the community because, as I said at the beginning, there's no borders anymore, and I think we are all worldwide citizens. It's just a situation right now. I'm in Paraguay, yeah, you are in Mexico, but could change tomorrow.
No, I believe the same. It's like, okay, let's find a good deal. Like, we're ready to pay something, but then if you try to take too much, then you just leave, right? It's happening all over the world. Countries that are taxing too much their citizens, and especially if the citizens are not feeling that they're receiving the right amount or the right quality of services for what they're paying for, or they just go where are you optimistic for some sort of resolution or some sort of toning down the regulations they try to implement, or
Yeah.
what's your plan like for the next weeks and months?
Yes, we are working with two law firms. We are working with the people in. I think here in Paraguay, it's you can talk with the government. No, obviously, no, you are not always listening, but you can have a one-to-one talk. It's not bureaucratic. You can go to the office and talk with the people, and it's very open. And they ask for help. They ask for help several times. We offer our time because this is obviously a not pay work because as I said, when I spend 20 hours in a week talking with people in the government, I lose 20 hours of my production of my other things that brings me money. But I think it's a nice position of the Bitcoin community because it's not only to invest time for create conditions for people in Paraguay as a nice regulation between us of the record. I don't need to accomplish this regulation because I have other business in Paraguay. My whole strategy with Bitcoin is hodl. Do anything more than hodl. I spend some sats in our meetups in the conference, but I'm not a trader. That in a way, not in a way, I'm not a trader. I can't not saying to the government anything. Hey, I love to talk about Bitcoin, but I has no Bitcoin. I has no satoshis because I don't know, accident, a bug accident or something like that. Yeah, but I think it's
Well,
very.
you cannot since Paraguay is a landlocked
But
country.
we have
You need to find
lagoons,
another
we have
exchange.
we have lakes here. In the other hand, I feel bad because people from Europe, people with other mindset, they said, "Hey, I don't want to just go to the other for the other part. They want to accomplish the law, and I'm fine with that. I understand very well because in their countries the system works, and it's fine to pay it almost in all countries. But they don't want this kind of law like sounds dictatorships or micromanagement of your bill weighing. Nobody wants the living goes unsupportable because we need to stay just putting on a paper every transaction or everything. I think people wants to be more light, and that's the reason I get very emotional about this because I want people to keep uh, coming to Paraguay because we need more allies to make this country great. If right now the government presents him itself as a very not friendly for migrants, not friendly for Bitcoin, Paraguay lose. The only place who will lose is Paraguay. No, not the expats, not the migrants, not the companies. The loser in this game will be Paraguay and the Paraguayans, and I don't want that because you have Panama, you have El Salvador, I don't know, other places, but Paraguay is not the only country to live. But if we still creating these shitty regulations, maybe I move to from Paraguay also. I don't know.
No, I understand. I wish you the best of luck with that battle. And, as you said, like, you might not need to these laws to be revoked. You can change place, but because you're passionate and you're a humanist and you want, good for your good things happening for your country, that's why you're fighting. So that's really admirable, and I hope it will work out. And I hope some people in the government will understand. Like, how do you even explain Lightning Network? That it's not even on chain.
Amazing. No, no. And it's weird because all the questions are very, very complicated questions. Hey, if I sell a confiscated gun, it's traceable through the blockchain? And I said, hey, man, it's not good to sell confiscable guns. Yeah, you can buy an ice cream, something more simple, not guns or something like that.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge movie in their heads. They think we are, I don't know,
We're just nerds.
fat guys with a computer.
Great. Well, I believe you're gonna make it and you're gonna fight it. So, I hope this podcast people will understand that this is not a lost battle. It's just a battle, and battles will always happen, especially with governments, because that's what they do. They don't create. They don't create value. They only destroy value. They only slow value in general. This is generally what people do in governments. But maybe you can talk a little bit more about the conference that is coming. I see it's in August, in 12 and 13 August. So, what are the plans for this? Who should come visit?
It's amazing because we learned a lot the last year with the conference. And for this year, we offer to the people from outside Paraguay and not only a conference, a whole sovereign experience, because we start with 2 days of conference, 12 and 13 August, a very nice conference. And then we have 2 days for people who wants to get their residence on Paraguay to be Paraguay fiscal tax. Also, if you want to open a bank account for different reasons, it's very good that. And also, if you want to invest in real estate, if you want to invest in cattle, if you want to invest in energy, we present all the people, in law firms. We have workshops outside the conference. Workshops explain how the taxation works in Paraguay. It's a immersion week in Paraguay. If you want to be Paraguayan and to have your flag here, Paraguay is still being very friendly for expats, because you to be Paraguayan, you only need be 1 day a year here, not like other countries. You need to spend 6 months in the country. Obviously, for me, I always recommend to move to Paraguay almost 3 months a year, because it's nice, a nice country. But for residence matters, for tax matters, I think it's still a good place, a good spot to be, and that's the reason we offer a Bitcoin only Monday and Tuesday, and the rest of the week we offer a residence, a sovereign experience for people who wants to be more free and be more safe in the heart of South America. And we offer
That's
all the
great.
package. You can buy the ticket of the conference, and or you can buy the whole the whole experience. And fun fact of that, it's the government is helping us to do this,
Yes.
and that's amazing.
Uh, I had a more like general questions. What do you think about the current Iran war and everything, and more specifically, like the impact on the energy markets? Because we don't know exactly what's happening there. So there's like some productions of oil, of gas being destroyed. It affects the supply in the whole. Do you have any opinion on how it could affect the mining industry? Maybe not specifically to Paraguay, but in general.
There's no holy war. Every war has their situations are their objectives, and every war is about money and is about power. When you have a broken system, when you have a printer that you can create money from thin air, you need excuses to to keep printing and to make the people pay for that print. And also, our powerful thing it's the fear. I think these all these miles are uh, just occurring because the people when the people has fear, it's more easy they get into the boats, and I think it's a powerful fight, not only about energy, not only about the transactional channels, not only about bombs, it's only about the money print. That's the reason I love Bitcoin, because I'm not a hippie guy. If you need to go to war, just take a gun and go to war. But you need to democratize and to decentralize the decision of the war, because the states, the country just go to the war without asking the people who is paying for the war, because uh, we are paying for the war. So the price of petrol right now, we are paying the war for with that, and Bitcoin makes the war affordable. Because if we ask all the Bitcoiners by running nodes, hey, do you want war and pay the transaction fee for the war? People will say, hey, just fuck off. No, and if you democratize the decision of the war, I didn't say, hey, there's no wars anymore. If you need war, let's go to the war. But they can't still creating something like war, because I think there's a lot of people suffering, but there's not war. It's a political and a money and a power war. It's not in the fields. It's outside. And Bitcoin solves this.
That's true. That's why there will be battles like this for really, really long time. Because if you remove the main power of, what they have, the money printer, well, then, they cannot make money anymore. They cannot do the war. So that's why it's going to be a constant battle. It's inevitable, but it's going to be hard. Really inspiring to talk to you. It's a great reminder. There's regulations, there's everything. This is normal, but we have like a bigger mission behind all of this.
Yes, it's. I think I always say being Latin American, it's the chaos is our comfort zone. It's nice to have this kind of chaos. Talking about the regulation, not about the war. It's nice to have this kind of chaos, because make us more creative, make us more resilient, make us more wider, and also open our arms to help people, not to kill them. In some part of the world now, people are opening their arms to kill people. Bitcoin always open their arms to receive more friends, to receive more opportunities, and to receive more well-being for all the people all around, because we can be pure ego people and just stack our sats and get silence about Bitcoin because it's our secret and my precious, like a hobby thing, But no, I think we choose the way of spreading the word to get more people into the Bitcoin life. And I think it's a nice mission. I sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I want to be with my family. Sometimes I want to grab a beer, and we are talking about Bitcoin. It's nice because it's a life mission. The typical job interview question: how do you see in 10 years? Hey, I see myself in 30 years talking about Bitcoin to my granddaughter. Hey, grandpa, what is Bitcoin? Uh, Obviously, I think she will know, because Bitcoin will be the money in 30 years for sure. But yes, talking about, hey, I bought Bitcoin from less that's 100K. No way, grandpa. You're lying, grandpa, Yes, I think it's a nice story to tell to our granddaughters, because Bitcoin is about to build an empire for the next generation, not this generation. We can stay fun, staying poor, but I think it's to transform the mindset for the next generation, to transform the way they see the money for the next generation, because we already know we already born almost broke, and we are trying to fix us. But yeah, I think the next generation have hope to transform this situation, work with the money, separate the money from the state. The peace, it's an option and it's adoption, because when you are equitative with other people, there's no reason to fight. Bitcoin is equitative. You can have 100 Bitcoin, I can have 100 Satoshis, but we have the same rules. It's not the rules for who has more staking or the rules for the who has less. No, Bitcoin is the most democratic and the most powerful money in the world. And the money changed everything. And that's the reason through money and through solid electric money, we can change the world at 100%. 100%. I'm very, very committed with that because I trust in that.
Just curious, how what do you think about the AI revolution? Is it just a bubble? Is it also going to transform our lives for the better? How is it related to Bitcoin? Is there any relationship?
I'm very happy with because I'm in a love situation with Claude and with all these things. I start maybe 3 weeks ago a place called Diario Satoshi. It's only Bitcoin news in Spanish, in very pleb language, easy to understand, and it's all automatized. For us, for Bitcoiners, it's a great opportunity to start to keep moving into products for the people. And now I'm working on a DCA tracker in Spanish. Simple things, because I'm not that smart, but there's a lot of smart people who now has tools to keep developing things. And I think in that part of the history, it's amazing. And in the other part of the history, AI, it's a huge bubble. I love AI. I invest in companies that use AI, but it's a huge bubble. And why you're saying, why you trust in AI? No, I don't trust in AI. I love AI. I use AI, but I don't trust in AI, and because there's no energy available in the world to deploy all the money that the Nasdaq and other places inject to AI last year. There's no place. It's a physical situation, because the cloud. I don't know who creates the term cloud, because when you think about the cloud, it's in the air, it's thin. No, no, no. The cloud is a physical space. A physical space needs servers. A physical space needs internet, and needs a bunch of energy. And there's no money, and there's no energy availability. Availability. Correct me, please, because I'm a caveman. In the world to deploy all the AI promises from last year. And I understand that, because I ran a 100 megawatts data center. I understand about this. It's not because I see a YouTube a guy saying, no, no, this is impossible. My experience says it's impossible, because for 2 megawatts of AI, we need to double the bandwidth of whole Paraguay only for 2 megawatts. And we have 1 gigawatt of Bitcoin mining. For 2 megawatts, we need to double the bandwidth of Paraguay, and also other things that doesn't. The world it's not ready to deploy, because it's impossible to for Elon or our friends create data centers like Colossus in all around the world, because there's no energy, there's no technical services, and there's no connectivity. Please, people, stop stop thinking AI is the most smart invest today. Just buy Bitcoin and hold it.
Again, really simple, but Or just simple strategy, man. You just buy Bitcoin. You don't need to think about real estate or AI, or like you need to trade your stocks. In the end, like Bitcoin is the simplest in investment for anyone, you know. And also we see it with real estate now. I think, you know, people were seeing like Dubai as like this really, you know, like a paradise for entrepreneurs, but they were buying a bunch of real estate there. And because of the war, unfortunately, it just crashed. You know, it just shows that people are using it as an investment, but it shouldn't be an investment necessarily. A real estate, a home shouldn't be an investment, right? I think this is gonna happen anywhere. You know?
But
It could happen anywhere.
yes, but as I said, real estate it's quite interesting in some places, but the problem it's the ticket. How much money do you need to buy an apartment in Dubai? Uh, 40K, 50K for just for be part of the people. A kid with 16 years that receives $100 or receives in a favela in Brazil $10 for their birthday, they can buy Bitcoin. They can't buy real estate in Dubai. You know, that's the reason Bitcoin democratize the money, democratize the business because it's great. I always say that I'm not a real estate guy, but I always say, hey, Bitcoin and cows. For me, cows, it's I'm deep into cows also. Uh, For me, it's instantly liquidity. It grows, performance, excellent performance. It's doubles the performance of real estate in Paraguay, and it's delicious. I want to be involved with things that I love, and I love stick, and I'm into Bitcoin, and I'm into cows too. You know, that's the reason because if you are investing in something that allows you to have a learning path, I think you are in a good way. If you invest in something you doesn't understand, you are not investing, you are gambling. And I need to, we need more investors in Bitcoin, people that understand, start from zero and became heroes from Bitcoin. And that's, you can do that with 100 Satoshis, you know.
You need to check our the hackathon we organized. You can see it on hackathonbitcoin.com. It was a Mexican educational Bitcoin hackathon, and we didn't expect nothing because we only put like 10,000 pesos in price. So it's around $500. That's really low for a hackathon. And we got 37 projects from all over Mexico, all built with AI, so, you know, vibe coded, but I would say a good half of them are like super good quality. You know, it's a bit random, but you need to check it out. And it also makes me bullish that because of AI and everything, we can now democratize also education about Bitcoin, because everybody has their own way to understand Bitcoin. I think there is not like one specific way you can understand it. And now that people have the tools to make it for cheaply and everything, everybody can kind of become educators as well. And you, as an educator, probably you have you know, an opinion about this as well. Is this the model you're trying to reproduce?
Yes, because I think these kind of tools are worthless for people who has no idea what they want to do. But if you have an idea, as I said, I get seated and I know, hey, I want to create a news website, Bitcoin in Spanish, easy, blah blah blah. I develop in one night, you know, because I know what I want to do. But if you have no idea and say, hey, Claude, how can I get billionaire in 1 week with you? It's stupid because what moving the people, it's the hunger of create something. It's not only if you want money, there's a lot of not business you can earn money. If you only want money, you know, but if you want to create something, money it's just an accident, you know. But get fun creating things, get fun learning new things. I think that will always was my first rule in my life. No, I'm very happy with that.
So yeah, you said right. You need to have like a proper goal to make it work for you. So you cannot just ask it for to become rich. Yeah, I don't want to take too much time with you, Bruno, because I feel I could talk with you, especially you said with a beer paid with Bitcoin a really long time. I hope that we will either meet here in Mexico City at La Casa de Satoshi. I don't know if you heard about it.
I'm not a conference guy. It's a conference. Uh, I met these guys. I met these guys, La Casa de Satoshi, and the other guys who has this house. It's not La Casa de Satoshi, the other place in Mexico. The old woman.
The old woman, Lynn,
Yes. No.
the white paper house in Merida.
Yes. I'm not a conference guy. I try so hard because I respect all the conference organizers. I drive to the conference because I respect them because I know the hard work behind that. And for me, my highlight this year in Plan B in El Salvador was the La Casa de Satoshi and the White Paper House. Both Mexicans. I love Mexico. Not for Bitcoin, for other things, several times on the past. As I said, I know Tepito, and other places. I think Mexico is one of the most fascinating places in the world. I love Mexico. I love the food. I love everything, and the people is very warm, very friendly. I feel quite Mexican.
I'm sure we will meet either here or in Paraguay because I also have it on my urgent bucket list to visit. And
It's urgent because now is the moment. Yeah, it's nice.
Great. Did I miss anything about the situation or something you would like to add in the end?
No, just as for the people to transform their lives and transform in what you want to do, not transform in what mainstream wants us to be. Just look your path and look your freedom and what is freedom for you, because there's some people who is happy living in very dictatorship countries, and it's fine. I think we are not all the same, but I want to the people to take option about what they want, and the option became with the knowledge, and the knowledge became with the curiosity. I want to people be more curious and free. I will thank you because I also admire all the people who takes a camera, a microphone, and start creating content, because it's very necessary for Bitcoin adoption. Get more people who we look like good people, people look like common people talking about Bitcoin, living in different places, living different experience. I think we need to flood TikTok, flood Instagram from good people talking about good things, because there's a lot of shit today in all the media, in all the mainstream, in all the social media. For me, this is a land of hope. Talking about Bitcoin in social media, it's to build hope.
I love that. Thank you so much, Bruno. This was Bruno Vaccotti. Do I pronounce it right? Vaccotti?
Vaccotti.
So thank you so much, everybody. You can check out the Acelerando Bitcoin.com. If you want to visit Paraguay, if you want to visit Bruno, this probably will be the best occasion to catch him. And thank you for all the work you're doing. And good luck with the fight with the regulations and everything.
Let's talk in a few weeks. Let's figure out how it's going.